Hello! Today's tutorial was inspired by winter solstice, which means that it's like the darkest night of the year, or at least the longest night of the year. And the Celts used to celebrate it as the rebirth of the sun. Because, you know, after this night, like, the sun will be shining for longer each day until it's winter again. So yeah, this seemed like a fun thing to base some makeup on, so here it is. Let's get started. Most of the colors I'm going to use today are from these eyeshadows. They're Peggy Sage eyeshadows, and I'm going to start with the blue one and the black one. Just using them because I have a lot of them and they are very, very pigmented. And yeah, so I just pretty much started shaping like usual, only with an unusual color. The shade of blue you're using doesn't really matter as long as it's slightly darker than your skin tone. Like, I picked a pretty pale shade of blue, but then again my skin is pretty much ghostly in winter, so yeah. If you have darker skin, then a darker shade of blue will work better, obviously. And especially around the nose, be very careful because you don't want to end up looking as if you've been smacked in the face. Yeah, that happened before. With makeup, I mean. Never been smacked in the face, come to think of it. Anyway, then I just deepened up the contour with black. And also on the nose a little bit. Do make sure not to add too much, because otherwise the entire thing will go sort of greyish instead of blue. I did want the blue to still stand out a lot, because, well, pretty much the color I was going for was sort of hinting towards the night sky, and to me blue and black is pretty much the easiest way to portray that. And then I also added some white just to highlight some areas, to make the darker areas stand out even more. And then it's time for glitter, because whenever I can add glitter, I will add glitter. Glitter I used is also Peggy Sage. It's a silver cosmetic glitter, and I used a makeup spray by Makeup Revolution to make sure it actually sticks to my face. I just spray some on the brush, then dip the brush in the glitter and then dab it on my face, and yeah, pretty much highlighted with it. As you can see on my upper lip, you can pretty much make a complete metallic look with it. And yeah, then finally I was glittery enough for my tastes. And for my eyebrows I also started out with blue. I'm pretty much following the same theme here as with the contouring. And again I'm starting out with blue because, well, for the eyebrows mostly because if you start out with blue then you can always fix mistakes easier than if you start out with black, so yep. And then once the blue was there I put the black on top of it. And as you can see just now I also blended it into the nose contour a little bit, just to make it look more fantasy-like and less normal human, I guess. And also blended it a little. And then it was time for the eyes. For my eyes I started out with the Maybelline Color 2 in 24K gold. I wanted something glittery as a base, partly to make the eyeshadow stick well, but partly because the eyeshadows I'm using are matte, and with this base underneath it they do go sort of shimmery. I really can't talk today. So yeah, that's why I added the base. And I'm pretty much doing what I always do when I want to do a very, very easy fantasy-like look. I just did an ombre of colors. This time yellow and orange and red to portray the sun. And then blended it all together. And also blended the outer edge there. I wanted it to be sort of smoky and like, as if the color is just naturally there and not necessarily an eyeshadow look. And to continue on that idea, I also did a little bit of orange under the eye in a smoky way. Then for eyeliner I used the Catrice Cake eyeliner. With the pale colors I did want an eyeliner just to make my eyes pop a little bit more, especially with the dark eyebrows and the dark lips that I'm going to do. And what I did was just paint a really extremely thin line above my eyelashes and then add a wing. I didn't want the eyeliner to stand out. Again, I just wanted it to sort of look as if it's just belongs with the face. I don't know, there's one thing I really like about fantasy looks. Just trying to make things look as if they belong there instead of that they're, like, you know, painted on. And then I also colored in my waterline using the Estée Lauder Pure Color Kajal pencil. Both top and bottom. It's pretty much a pencil I always use because it does stay in place very well. And then for my lashes I used the Rimmel Scandaleyes Lycra Flex Mascara. It's still not empty. I wonder if it's ever going to go get empty. But yeah, it still works well. And then for my lips I went back to the eye pencil for a little bit. And then a black lipstick by Essence. I'm using the pencil first because it's easier to work with, so I can just make a line very easy. Because, you know, with black you don't want to make mistakes because, well, especially with such a pale skin as mine, it's a very stark contrast, so mistakes will be very visible. But yeah, anyway, I used the black lipstick by Essence. Very nice and shiny, stays in place really well. I'm not sure if they still sell it, but I do know that Makeup Revolution, I think, also has one. Maybe Colourpop has one, but I'm not sure. And I also know for sure that Urban Decay has one, but it's more expensive. But yeah, anyway, that's what I use, the Essence one. And then that completes the entire look. Really had a lot of fun creating this. I really love doing like fantasy looks. I hope you enjoyed watching this. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time. Bye!